Good morning, good day. Waiting for any live streamers to jump into the action. Perhaps we will get some. Let's give everybody a minute or two for them to jump in. If you're already tuned in, sit down in a Sukhasana posture, a cross-legged fold, and just breathe and scan your body. Sukhasana posture, cross-legged. Hello, Corin. We have our first viewer. Welcome. Namaste. So while the rest of our viewers and streamers tune in, I invite you to start in a Sukhasana posture. This could either be on your bum or on your block. To start the sequences, I like to start with the block actually, because normally in the beginning of the sequence you're a bit tighter and it just allows my hips a little more room for my knees to drop. Ideally, you want your knees very close to the floor or even on the floor. From Sukhasana, I invite you to tune in to the now. Tune into your body, tune into your mind, tune into your breath. And just start noticing all the different things happening with your body. How does your back feel? Do you feel any tightness? If you do feel the tightness, where do you feel it? Is it in your cervical, upper back, thoracic, middle back, or lumbar, lower back? How does your neck feel? Look to the left. Look to the right. Look straight ahead. Look down. Look up. Look straight. Press your palms flat on the earth in front of you. For this portion, it's actually best to remove the block. Place your palms flat on the earth. And reach forward. And fold forward. Bring your left hand over the top of your right hand. And place both palms flat on the earth. Return to center. Now bring the right palm over the top of the left. Return to center. How does one side feel compared to the other? Now let's try with opposite legs. Both palms flat. Reaching forward. Compare knees, compare shoulders, compare backs. Bring the left hand over the top of the right. Return to center. Reach the right over the left. Return to center. Rise up and compare and contrast how the different knees feel compared with each other. For me, it's a little more comfortable having my right knee in front just because I've always sat with my right knee forward. So this is a little bit of a challenge and something that I feel. And these are the little things that you want to listen to your body for, because they're always sending you these little signals and you have to address them. You have to listen. I invite you to bring your hands together at heart center and take a deep breath, inhale, and then let's have a collective Om from wherever you may be, from wherever you may be sitting. I hope that these collective Oms are coming from all over the world. Take a deep sigh out. Inhale in. Ah. What do we have here? Look what the Om brought in. He's like, "What are you gonna do? Your downward dogs and upward dogs now?" Chico, move. Move, buddy. Downward facing dog. Upward facing dog. And then shake it out. We got it, Chico. Thanks, coach. So make your way onto all fours. Getting into a tabletop so that your back is a tabletop and you can place a glass on it. You're establishing Asta Bandha with your hands, which is rooting down on your hands with your fingers spread wide, your index fingers parallel to each other, pointed directly forward. Your knees are stacked underneath your hips at hip width distance, and the tops of your feet are pressed against the mat. Your shoulders are drawn away from the ears. Your elbows are rotated outward so that the eyes of your elbows are pointed forward. Shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrists. Inhale, you drop the belly, you raise the gaze forward, and you raise your tailbone for a cow pose. And you exhale, press against the mat, round your spine, shift your gaze over to your navel. Always micro bend in the elbow. This is a cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And when you have that pause in your breath, you want to really absorb the posture. Cat. Slide your hands forward a few inches, curl your toes, and push your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Heels are driving towards the earth, micro bend in the knees, long line of energy in the spine. Try and kiss those armpits and let your head hang like a mango. It's your first downward dog of the day, so feel free to walk it out a bit and get that tension out. Slowly and concisely slide your hands back inch by inch to meet your feet at the back of the mat. Bend your knees around your spine and keeping your hands on your legs. Slowly articulate vertebra by vertebra all the way up. When you reach the top, roll your shoulders back and straighten out your chin so that it's parallel with the earth. You've already felt Hasta Bandha with your hands on the mat. Now we're going to establish Pada Bandha with our feet, which is rooting down. So take a step and then take another. And feel as the mat roots and sends energy through the four corners of your feet. There's energy flowing through us. It's pranayama. And it starts with the South Pole and the North Pole being magnetically charged, sending all this electricity through our bodies. We're just a portal. Once you reach the top of your mat, establish Pada Bandha either with your toes together and your heels slightly spread apart and the sides of your feet parallel with the sides of your mat, or have your feet at hip width distance parallel to the mat. You activate your calf muscles, your thighs, your hamstrings, your glutes. Bring that tailbone underneath. You press your navel against your spine. You draw your shoulders down away from the ears. Your palms are facing forward. You imagine the anatomical posture. You actively align yourself with your muscles. Having them all active in this posture aligns your spine and all your bones. Inhale, raise your hands up to the sky for an extended mountain pose with your shoulders drawn away from the ears, your arms active, your fingers going towards the sky. And then you exhale, hinging at the hip, fold forward for a forward fold. Letting your arms hang like coat sleeves. Knees are not straight. Head is hanging. Feel free to reach for both elbows and wiggle and sway. Inhale, you place your hands on your shins, extend the arms, make an L with your body for a halfway lift. Shoulders are drawn away from the ears. And there's a micro bend in your upper back. Exhale, place your hands on the mat. Step the left foot back. Step the right foot back. And establish plank. Elbows are rotated out. Shoulders are over the elbows. Elbows are over the wrists. Evenly stacked. You're on your toes. Establishing strength and stamina. Shoulders are drawn away from the ears, micro bend in the elbow. Exhale, lower halfway down, bending at the elbows. Inhale, roll over those toes and rise up for an upward facing dog. Knees are off the ground, legs are active, heels are not splaying. Exhale, curl your toes, drop your knees, and press your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. You're established in your Ujjayi breath. This is a victory. At the bottom of your next exhale, bend your knees, shift your gaze forward, and lightly step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, and return to a mountain pose. That was Sun Salutation A, also known as Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, bend at the knees. Drop the bum. Lower your hips. Knee over the second toe. Arms to the sky, pinkies rotated inward for a chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands on the knees. Inhale through the nose. Halfway lift. Hands on the shins. Your gaze is towards the ground. Exhale, place your hands on the mat and step one foot back and the other, and lower halfway down on an exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale, roll over the toes for an upward facing dog. Avoid dumping in the lower back here if you're looking for an upper back stretch. Drop your knees, curl your toes, and shift your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Recovery breath. You're in your Ujjayi here. Inhale, raise the left leg and bring it through your hands. Drop the right heel so that your right toes are pointed towards the top right corner of your mat with your hips neutral. Rise up for a warrior one. Rooting down on the outside edge of your right foot. Left knee at 90 degrees. Arms towards the sky. Exhale. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back and lower all the way down to Chaturanga. Inhale. Curl the toes and rise up for a upward facing dog. You're at the tops of your feet. Avoid allowing the heels to splay. Knees are off the ground. Drop the knees, curl the toes, and push the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, extend the right leg and bring it through your hands. Drop the left heel, point the left toes at the top left corner of your mat. Right knee bent at 90 degrees. Rise up for warrior one. Hips are neutral. If you're having trouble with the hip neutrality, grab your hips, pull the left hip forward, right hip back, and remember to root down on the outer edge of your right foot. Exhale. Place the hands on the mat, step the right foot back, and lower halfway down to Chaturanga. Inhale, roll over the toes into a upward facing dog. Exhale, drop the knees, curl the toes, and press the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Hone in on that breath. Ujjayi. At the bottom of your next exhale, bend your knees, shift your gaze forward, and lightly step or float to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the shins. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend the knees, drop the hips, raise the arms, back into a chair pose. Rotate the pinkies inward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, round the spine and articulate up. And just like my dog did a couple upward dogs, downward dogs, what did he do next? He shook it off. And while you guys shake and catch your breath, let me check on the comments. Woof woof. Yeah, Chico wanted to stop by the yoga class and show us how to properly do a downward dog and an upward dog. So I'll let you guys compare who was better. Make your way back into a mountain pose. And inhale, rise up for an extended mountain pose. Exhale, bring the hands together at heart center, Samastiti, and start to shift your weight over onto your left foot, allowing your right foot to levitate. You're on the four corners of your left foot. Right foot is off the ground, keeping the hips neutral and the right toe pointed inward to maintain that hip neutrality. Hinge at the hip, folding forward for warrior three. Right foot flexed. If your practice allows it, extend the arms above overhead. And control, drop the right foot. Make your way into a runner's lunge. Inhale, place the right hand on the mat. Extend the left hand up to the sky, shifting your gaze over to your left middle finger. Exhale, place both hands back down on the mat. And inhale, rainbow the arms up, dropping that right heel, pointing your right toes towards the right side of your mat. Left knee bent at 90 degrees. Torso is 90 degrees from the earth. Warrior two. gaze is over your left middle finger. You're tapped into your Ujjayi breath. There's a micro bend in the right knee, and your hips are pointed towards the right side of your mat. You're comfortable here. You're strong. Inhale, drop that left hand inside the left foot and extend the right arm up to the sky. Shifting your gaze over to your right middle finger. You're breathing. Inhale, rise up. Back to warrior two. And drop that left elbow onto the left thigh. Reach over the top of your body with your right arm. And shift your gaze over to your right middle finger. And breathe. Inhale, rainbow the arms back. Placing your right hand on the back of your right leg. And reaching over the top of your body with your left hand. Gazes over to your left middle finger. Inhale, rise back up to warrior two. Extend the left leg. Heel toe that right foot closer to the left, shortening the distance. This foot is splitting, left foot is splitting the right. You reach forward with your left hand as you reach back with your right hip. And you drop down for a triangle pose. Micro bend in both knees. Inhale, rise up. Place your hands on your hips and rotate that right foot 90 degrees inward. With your hands still on your shins, fold forward, bringing your chest to your thigh, and place your hands on the mat for a pyramid pose. Micro bend in both knees. Breathe. Inhale, rise up. And step to the front of your mat. And bring that right foot up into your thigh for a tree pose. Your foot should not be on your knee. It could be on your calf or on your thigh, not on your knee. Remove the foot from the thigh for a tree pose. Bring that right foot down. And inhale up to an extended mountain pose. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center at Samastitihi. And shift that weight onto your right foot, allowing your left foot to levitate. You're on the four corners of your right foot. And you're hinging at the hip, folding forward, keeping that left foot, those left toes pointed inward to maintain the hip neutrality. Left foot flexed, micro bend in the upper back, extend the arms if your practice allows it. Whoa. From here, drop the left foot down for a runner's lunge. Right knee at 90 degrees. Your feet are on train tracks. Drop the left hand down to the mat. Take the right hand up to the sky. And avoid allowing that right knee to splay. And the hands back down. And rainbow up to a warrior two. Dropping that left heel. Left toes pointed towards the left Side of your mat, right knee at 90 degrees. Arms up strong, yet soft. Root down on the outside edge of your left foot. Do not be like this. Drop that right hand down on the mat and extend the left hand up to the sky. Shifting your gaze over to your left middle finger. Inhale, rise back up to warrior two. Drop that right elbow on that right knee and bring that left arm over the top. Shifting your gaze over to your left middle finger. And breathe. Inhale, rainbow the arms back. Place the left hand on the left hamstring. Right hand comes over the top for a humble warrior. Right knee remains at 90 degrees. Gaze is over to your right middle finger. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Straighten the right leg and heel toe. The left foot closer to the right. As you reach forward with your right hand, you reach back with your left hip, dropping down for a triangle pose. You might have felt a crack there, I did. Inhale, rise up. Place your hands on your hips and shift the left foot 90 degrees inward. Your feet are on train tracks here. You're going to hinge at the hip, maintaining a micro bend in both knees, and place both hands on the mat, or just fingertips, or if you need blocks, you're welcome to use a block. Pyramid pose. Inhale, rise up, step the left foot forward, bring your hands to heart center, and raise that left foot for a tree pose. Ideally, you'd be looking at a tree right now, in the outdoors somewhere. Close your eyes for extra challenge. Oh, challenge failed. Make your way back into mountain pose. Strong legs. Navel against the spine. Tailbone tucked underneath. Shoulders drawn away from the ears. Inhale, rise up to extended mountain pose. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Activate the fingers. Exhale, bring the hands together at heart center. And heel toe the feet outward so that the outside edges of your feet are aligned with the outside edges of your mat. And begin to drop your knees. Drop your hips and bend your knees. Placing your elbows inside of your knees and pressing those knees out with your elbows. Simultaneously pushing those elbows in with your knees. Your shoulders are drawn away from your ears. Your heart is shining. Now rock back and roll over. Extend your feet. Palms facing up. Make a V with your body for dolphin pose for 5, for 4, for 3. Long line with your back for 2, for 1. Release. Inhale, rise back up for another dolphin pose. Shoulders back, shoulders down. 5. Legs up, toes pointed. 4. Palms towards the sky. 3. Breathing. 2. 1. Hold it. Hold it. Extend it. And release. Rise back up. Legs straight out in front of you. Arms along your side for a staff pose. Feet flexed and together. Micro bend in the knees. Breathe. Bend the left knee and grab your left ankle. Bring your left foot over the top of your right. Take the left arm to the back left corner of your mat and hook your right elbow outside your left knee. Twist to the left, shifting your gaze over to your left shoulder. For a sitting twist. Exhale, release the hook. Both arms back. Bring the left foot over. Extend the left leg. Bend the right knee. Bring that right foot over the left. Right arm is at the back right corner of your mat, and you hook your left elbow outside your right knee. Twisting over to the right, shifting gaze over to your right middle, to your right shoulder. So release the lock. Bring the right foot back across. Extend the right foot. Palms flat on the face down on the mat. Bend your knees so that your feet are stacked directly underneath your knees, heels near your bum. And root down on your feet to rise up, maintaining your knees even. Interlace your fingers behind your back and bring your shoulders underneath your back. You can root down your shoulders and you bring your chin towards your chest. Bridge pose. Exhale, release the interlace. Raise your heels and drop your back down. Starting at the upper back, middle back, and then lower back. I'm going to repeat the bridge pose one more time. Root down your feet to raise your hips up. Bring your shoulders underneath. Interlace the fingers and drop the chin down. Exhale, release the interlace. Move the shoulders, raise the heels, and articulate your back down. Upper, middle, lower. Extend. Bring your block underneath your tailbone, your coccyx, and raise your legs up for a very passive inversion, allowing the old blood that's accumulated in your legs to flow to your brain and give you enlightenment with all that grounded blood shooting through your body. Exhale, drop the feet back down. Remove the block. Extend the left leg. Cross it over the right. Reach through the window of your thighs. Keep that right knee at 90 degrees and that right foot flexed, and press your left elbow against your left inner thigh to keep that thigh open in this pigeon pose, reverse pigeon pose. Exhale, release the interlace, drop the right foot down. Extend the left foot. Drop the left leg down and give your knees a hug. Drop the feet back down. Extend the right leg. Cross it over your left. Reach through the window of your thighs and interlace your fingers. Pull back on that left hamstring with the left knee bent at 90 degrees and the left foot flexed. Right elbow opening up that right inner thigh. Notice if one side is tighter than the other. That's the case for me. So release the interlace, drop the left foot down, extend the right leg, drop the right foot down, and give your knees one more hug. Open up your thighs, bring your elbows inside of your knees, grab the outside edges of your right foot, root down that tailbone, root down those shoulders for a happy baby. Push into your hands with your feet. Pull on your feet with your hands. Yin, yang. Breathe. Exhale, release the grip on your feet and extend your legs, extend your arms, lengthen the neck, and melt. Shavasana. Welcome to the corpse pose, where you imagine yourself as wax melting on a hot surfboard on a hot sunny day, on a nice sandy beach, full of lush trees and curious monkeys. Return to your normal breath and allow all your limbs to go numb. It's okay to fall asleep here. Remember who you dedicated this practice to. Remember your intentions and honor them. Wiggle those toes. Wiggle those fingers. Bring your feet and your hands back to life. Let that energy flow through your ankles, causing them to do circles, as well as your wrists. Activate the forearms, the biceps, the triceps. Activate the calves, the thighs, the hammies, the glutes. And you see how all that energy just flowed through you? It's real. Raise your thighs up 90 degrees. Knees bent at 90 degrees. Extend the right arm up and fall over to the right, letting your head rest on your bicep. You're about to be reborn, wiser, more connected, more calm, more cool. But it's up to you to spread that calm, cool. Spread it to your family, spread it to your friends, spread it to a stranger. Place that left hand down in front of your face and root down to rise up back to a Sukhasana. Eyes remaining shut. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Let your knees cascade towards the earth. Lengthen the spine from the tailbone to the crown of your head. And just feel length. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale in, and let's have a collective Om. Ah. And we'll open up your eyes. Thank you for letting me guide you today. It's been a pleasure connecting with myself and in turn connecting with you all. Send you peace and tranquility. And you can remain in the Sukhasana as long as you need to, as long as your soul asks for it. But I do want to check on some of the comments here. Very impressive. Chico has learned from the master. He's alluding to when my dog came and sat up on the mat and did a downward facing dog and an upward facing dog when we were just getting started and getting connected. But yes, I think he is the master and I'm the simple grasshopper. Corin, thanks for being active on the live stream. I'm still getting used to interacting with the screen as well as teaching. Sometimes it could be hard to read, but I know that there's messages there, and I encourage everyone else to leave their messages, and I'll try and address them after the practice is done so as to not interrupt the flow. You guys have a wonderful day.